This program is brought to you by newscliptv.com. Make your own news. Register online and become a Newsclip TV reporter. Newsclip TV, your community news website.
Welcome to Persistence Pays TV. My name is Lori Rownask and I'm your host for this show. I want to talk to you about something that's very near and dear to me, and that is buying local food. I have an expert on the show today that's going to talk to us about what does local really mean. And today on my way to the show I stopped by at the roadside stand. I bought all these beautiful fruits and vegetables. We're going to really delve into local. This show is aired all over the world, and local really is wherever you are. So whatever content that we're giving you here, you can really apply it to wherever it is that you live. So I'm proud to introduce our guest today, Lynn Ogryzlo, a food, wine, and travel writer and culinary activist, is the food writer for Niagara This Week newspaper and Niagara Life magazine. Lynn has been a champion of local food for over 22 years. Lynn is the founder of the Niagara Culinary Trail, an agricultural organization that introduces consumers to the best farmers in the region, and author of 3 best-selling local food books, Niagara Cooks 1 and 2 and The Ontario Table. So we're happy to have you here with us today, Lynn. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Lori. Thanks for having me.
So Lynn, what does local mean?
Local food is the food that's growing all around you. And when you go to shop for local food, it just means to follow the money trail. That's how you know if you're buying local. So if you read the labels, I think if you're in a grocery store, if you buy fresh produce under the Foodland Ontario logo, the green one, I think you're pretty safe that it's all Ontario. But then read labels. Local is what's growing around you, and the reason that it's really important is because it's fresher, because it has the ability to stay on the vine, the plant, the tree longer, because it doesn't have to ship or store anywhere. So when it stays on the plant, the vine, the tree, it can mature and ripen. You know that if you have tomatoes growing in your backyard, you wait for that intensity of red color.
Right.
And why do you do that? Because you know the flavor is going to be much better than if you pick it too soon. So the flavors develop. Along with the flavors, the nutrition develops. And so it's more nutritious, it's flavorful, it's fresher, and you know what? It's safer because the farmer is down the street. So there's no greater transparency in food than in local food.
Right, and local food just smells. I mean, it smells so fresh. You could just, you know, it's great. Whenever I buy local, and whenever in the summer, from the spring to the summer, whenever the local stands are on the street, I love to buy my food there because it's just so fresh.
It is.
$10. Tell me about your $10 and your $10 challenge.
Well, we all have budgets for groceries, right? So my challenge is to spend $10 on local food each week, because if everyone did that, we'd have $2.4 billion in our local economy.
$2.4 billion.
$2.4 billion. So
Wow.
for everyone who maybe has had to have their car repaired because of the potholes in the roads, or maybe if the library hours are being cut back, or any of these things, you can make a difference. As consumers, we have power. Every dollar we spend is a vote for the kind of culture we want, whether it's culinary or not culinary. So where you spend your money matters. It really matters. If we look at, if like me, you're very sad because the downtown core is pretty much abandoned, then spending local, this is how we revitalize it, because the money circulates to the small entrepreneur who will then populate the downtown core. So
right. Now, you know, the roadside stands, they're all coming to a close. When I stopped and picked up the food today, she said 1 or 2 more weeks and they'll be shutting their doors. But we can go to the downtown farmers market, which is run all year long.
Yes.
And when people think of local food, I think a lot of times we just think of fruits and vegetables.
Yes.
So tell me what else is local.
Well, you're right. A lot of people think that local food is fresh fruit and vegetables in the summertime, and it is, but it is much more than that as well. We have meat and poultry and cheese and milk and eggs and dairy and all sorts of things. We have products like tins of tomatoes and bags of beans, and there's yogurt and ice cream, and I think almost everything that you would want, you can find a local source.
So if you just pay attention to what you're buying, you're helping our community. And remember, your $10, $2.4 billion it can bring to our community. And look at what the community could do with $2.4 billion.
Yeah.
So any other thing that you want to bring up about local?
I think the Ontario Table is a do-it-yourself eat local book. It connects people to their source of food. There's a story of a farmer with every recipe, and it really is a great reflection of what's grown throughout the province of Ontario. And there's wine pairings, and also in the back, the last chapter helps you find local foods that are buried in the grocery store.
That's great. Well, thanks, Lynn, for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. And as we wrap it up, think about what you can buy local. With your $10 a week, what could you do to help the economy? $2.4 billion, that's a lot of help. If we all do our part with only $10, I know you can do it. So the next time you plan your meal, why not go local?